Mm.
Order filled.
All right, guys. Oh, shit, here. I'm not paying attention. All right. Hey, guys. Hey, Bird, James M. How we doing? Yo, Shintan Shaw. I haven't seen that one before. Joe Mina. Could you please analyze Euro? Oh, yeah, we'll get there. Sam here for this. Well, Brian, I tell you what, man, I have been really sick. Right? Usually we do these weeklies, but I got really, after I got back from Italy, I'm pretty sure I had COVID. Monty and I were just catching up. I get the result today, but they got me on some antibiotics, so I'm feeling better. So I think I'm worse, whatever the hell I had, I'm through the worst of it. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys. So we'll be back on schedule here. Let's call it a little July break. But we'll get our shit together again. Okay. Oh, well, shit. We already got 20. All right. A little bit built up demand. That's probably a good thing. Okay. So we got a pretty good lineup here today. It's several members giving us a lot of content here. I appreciate that, guys. So I start up with Grant F, which is always easy to start with because his charts are so tight and there's a trading plan that goes with it. I don't have to do much on these. So you can see here what he's doing, right? This is always his trademark. It's always tied in with a harmonic. So he's looking for confluence. So look at all the confluence points here that he's got here, right? Guys, heads up here. Pay attention. So we have coming off if I go all the way, oh shit, can I even get back here? So all the way off the low, I have a completed impulse, right? So we have an Elliott wave count. Now I have a potential A, a potential B, right to a golden zone. So you would call this both pattern as well as algorithmic confluence points here, right? So we know right now, of course, it can break the golden zone, but we know that that's a natural point of resistance because an algo will participate there, doesn't it? Of course, right? Just because it's there doesn't mean it can't break. But in terms of, look at the risk reward here. Now, in addition to that, we get a set of median lines here. He's got a shift. Yeah, it looks like a shift set of median lines here, but he's got them coming up and down. So do you note that there are two of them here? So on this side, he's got a golden corner. On this side, we're on the upper parallel of the shift. Right, so for that additional confluence, so you wouldn't call this a confluence point necessarily per the golden corner, but it's just that's giving us a target for the potential nail down below, and then add to that we've got divergence and what's he got a MACD and the RSI. So I mean this is a shitload of this. See, this is the kind of trade right here where really the outcome doesn't matter. And that seems counterintuitive. What do you mean the outcome doesn't matter? What's important here is that he places the trade, because there's so much here. Again, look at the risk reward here. There's so much to suggest that this is a trading opportunity. Now, whether it's a winning trade or not is almost secondary. What's important is that you recognize all the confluence here and that you can take this 100 out of 100 times. That's really what matters here. And not that, oh, okay, so we got a little bit ahead and then it got stopped out. You're like, well, shit, I'm never doing that again. No, that's 100 out of 100 times when you have that much confluence. And the result really doesn't matter. Now, of course, if you get the result, right, all the better. But it's just, it can't be, God, I stopped out twice, man. I don't know if I can take those anymore. Right? It's just the nature. The markets are just, they're perverse this way. It's the one time you don't take it, right? It will be that you'll get the monster move. It's unbelievably consistent in the markets. It will punish the mistake. And the mistake would be not taking it. Right, the one time you don't take it, it'll go all the way to and through your target. Right, so just it's the discipline. It's the skill set, right? Because Grant's very skilled, right? So it's recognizing all those confluence points, knowing to even look for them. Then once you have them, does he know he's going to get? Of course not, right? I mean, would you be disappointed if you only got the 5.47 to 1? Probably not. Right. I mean, sure. It's one of the things that happens to us in our mind's eye, right? If we were to only get this, we're a little disappointed because we're already damn near spending it, right? We already anticipate. Well, shit. If I only got that, well, man, I wanted that, right? I wanted, what is this, 23 to 1? Now you're not going to get many of those, right? You don't need many of those. But the one thing I can absolutely promise you, if you never stick around long enough to get one because you're, oh, fuck, I can't, I had to take profit because I had a loser. If you don't stick around long enough, which is the beauty of the way he lays it out here. Okay, here's the first one, second one. If I got this, now if I got the 11.72 and I had taken off 2/3 of it, am I disappointed? Probably not. You can't be, every time you set one of these up, be anticipating that you're going to get 23 to 1. Right? Again, you don't need it very often. But the real point of this chart is, again, 100 out of 100 times you got to take that trade. You literally will not find a better setup. You won't. You won't. Right? You can't. I mean, with that risk reward, you're not going to find a better one. So I think that's pretty much all I can add there. Right? I don't have to say much. Right? I mean, that's as good as it gets. Okay, so there's Costco with that one. Oh shit, I don't know what I'm sure. Oh fuck, we probably ought to pay attention to when their earnings are. Oh, where's the bench? Jesus, now I've forgotten. Calendar. Oh fuck, maybe it's not there. Shit, no, geez, I'm rusty. Where's the settings, events? There we go. Let's get earnings. There we go. Okay, so we've got nothing. We got no earnings. I guess they've already. Did we already have them for this quarter? Maybe we did, right? I've got nothing upcoming. So there we go. All right, so let's see if I go to daily, if I get anything. Yeah, we've got September 22nd. So we've got some time there. Let's go back to the hourly. Right, I should have noted this is a 60-minute chart. Okay, let me get over to his next one, which is going to look exactly like the first one. Here, I already got it over here. Surprise, surprise. Right? Do you see the consistency of his approach? Every chart, I don't even have to, I don't even have to look. I know what I'm going to see before I even open the chart. Right? Consistency, discipline. Okay, so what do we got here? So we've got, do we get an Elliott kind of come into this? Well, I don't even know if we need one, right? Pretty rip-roaring. Let's go to a 4 here. Talk about an uptrend. Oh, let's go all the way back here. All right, here, so we got something here to work with here. This is, Jesus, even a regression channel, just rip roaring. Right, so here's the first little break of it. Now back up to test the center line. Okay, let's go back to his 2-hour that he gave me. Kind of take that off here with the throw over. So we got, we tagged the median line, right? So again, it's just a lot of confluence is what he's demonstrating here. So here's the median line. We tagged it to the tick. Now note here, it doesn't count here because it's after the pivot, right? So even though it looks like, oh God, I got it twice. No, because this is the pivot, right? So up we come. So that's what sets up the cipher, right? So we go, what did we get? 82, 81.6 looks like. So it sets it up. Now, looks like he's already getting a little kickback on this. So we got the good start to it. Now it's being threatened. Oh, you know, the reality here is, so with his stop right here, if he gets stopped out, what, you know, it's a pretty minor stop, right? You'd probably reevaluate here. You'd probably take that all the way to the 887. And so if I go, platinum here. So you've got 887,990 here for a possible, if this is going to be a flat, right? That you might look to go again if you get tagged here again, right? You can't get into the ring and not get hit. So if he gets stopped here, at least it's relatively small. I don't know if he's trading the underlying or if he bought puts here or did a call spread or something to give him a negative delta bias. Pretty big numbers here as usual, right? I mean, we got 12. What do we got? Oh shit, I can't read it. 12 to 1, 9 to 1, 7 to 1. Not going to get all of them, but that's a pretty good setup here off of the tag. I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Let's go down a little bit if that actually survives, because that sure looks like a 3, doesn't it? Now, if this rolls over, he's got a good shot at that surviving. We got that little bugger there. If that starts to come down again, because then what are you thinking, right? You're thinking, okay, 1, 2, deep retrace, but we don't. It's too soon to call it, right? But see if they can't get the stops, right? You know, right? Everybody on the planet knows the stops are there, right? So if they can't get them, right? I mean, it's just a reality, right? Every pivot is a place for liquidity, every single one, right? So you could almost zoom in here and say, well, what happened here, right? That's just they're running stops here. Well, it's a bad idea to as though it's some evil force of market makers. That's not, market makers aren't evil. They're just trying to hedge their books, right? Do the stops get run up here? Yeah, but that's not necessarily always the evil market maker doing it. I mean, you and I could do it. It doesn't take a lot. I'd be curious to see what the volume is like up there, but you can kind of just see what they did, right? I mean, here, where are the stops? Right here, right? So so what makes you think it was a stop run? Because look what happens once they get the stops, right? All the way down we go. That's really how you identify it. So coming back here, if we talked a little bit about fair value gaps, right? So you got a fair value gap right here, right? This is just imbalance. He might get out of this, right, without getting tagged. It's pretty close. But where are we at now? So we're 528. He might snake out of it, because it doesn't look like you've got an impulse here. It looks like it's corrected, right? So since we didn't get a big push here into a third, looks like this could be the start. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it starts to go, and he can breathe a little bit. My guess is, right, he's been doing this long enough that a stop's a stop, right? Okay, thanks for doing your job. Okay, do I like it enough to go again, right? That's really the next question. It's good stuff, Grant. I'll be curious to see. I may save that myself to see if he dodges the bullet there. That's about as close as you can get and not get stopped out, which is, this is something we talk about. Is that trade still valid? I would say absolutely, right? It's almost even better, right? You can do it right here. Right, so look, what's his risk reward going to be now? Right, there's 15 to 1, right? And if I lost the target there. So now there's 16 to 1. So if you were looking at this today and you're looking for something, I mean, you could buy a put right there, right at the money. Give yourself, I'd want 30 days. Problem with weeklies, right, is the time decay is so severe. So you have to be right immediately. I mean, you could probably do it with a weekly, but I like a 30-day so I can let that thing marinate. And I'm not worried about, if this happens, right, you get a little pop here, just like it did here. If it's just a little liquidity push, all right, well, then you have a little more staying power, right? It's a little more forgiving than just putting a stop right there. Right, so take the put. Okay, well, you got to be careful that you don't, you can't let it get away from you. Where would be the absolute max, right? Up here, right? You can't let it go beyond that.
Still muted, I think.
Still lower risk. It's actually better, right? It's lower risk. I mean, that's like a tweezer top. Barely you can get in there with a very low threshold for any risk control. Okay, so we got United Healthcare and Costco from Grant. Those two good ones. Hang on one sec. All right, so next up, what do I got? I got ZZ Anderson. Hey, man. I haven't heard from ZZ in a while. Everybody getting a little break in the summer. ZZ back with stores. This is a good story on storage. Oh, shit. What happened here? Copy link. Oh, did I not get? Oh, I guess I don't have a chart. Is that right? I don't have a chart. So I don't have something I can work with, I think. If I copy link, yeah, that's what I got here. So I just have an image. Okay, all right. So we can work with that. So coming off of the low, well, he's got it identified as a 5 that finished here, and we get a C wave here. So this would be the implication, right? We can just look at it here. Implication is that the correction has finished. And to further add to that analysis, we get a rip-roaring impulse off of the low. Now what do we have here? 2 hour. 3 into a golden zone. We get another. Oh, this is somebody else. Jesus, was it somebody sent me something that looked almost exactly the same this morning? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, well, it's a little. I might have pushed it off. Well, let's see. So we get a new high. Let's just go with it here. So the 4 to the 2 is not ideal, but what's the alternate here? This is A, B, and we went 1, 2, and we'd be heading down for a 3. So again, relatively low risk here. Now you're at 786. He's putting a stop under this golden zone for on the assumption the golden corner holds. You're drifting a little far here. It doesn't quite have the right. Let's see. This is a 2 hour on Kraken. Let me see if I can get that up here. USD on Kraken. Let me get that up here, and so something I can work with here. Oh, I got Grant's colors here. Okay, so let's go to a 2 hour. See how this looks. It looks a little squishy now. Do I have the same? Stores the dollars 2 hour on Kraken. Yes, so I do. So let's just step back here and see if this looks as good as it did at first glance here. Okay, so we're making some assumptions. So I actually would want to come out even further. Say, okay, well, all right. So first question here: do I need to be in log? Well, right, 4 times the range. This is pretty meaty. But let's just assume we're going to stay with his analysis here and stay out of log. Right? It's always easier if you're not in log. Log is a pain in the ass, but we have to deal with it. All right, so what do we see here? So this just, a range. So this is just a trading range. So the fact that we do get a lower low here, okay, so what likely happened there, right? It's never a video or a live stream where I don't get to show you why that's a terrible place to enter the market. Now, do you know you're in a range here? No, you don't, right? Now, but would there maybe be some clues here? Oh, does that maybe help you a little bit? Let's get it right on there. We don't get to target, right? But this might be someone new to this might say, oh, it didn't get yet to target, so I could sell it here on the breakout. Well, so again, how do we know that what happened there? Because look at what comes after they break the low. Look, Jesus. Look what comes off of it, right? So this is why you never, ever, ever, ever want to do that. Now, of course, if you did it, you're stopped out, right? Likely, on the pump here, you got stopped out. So the real question becomes, if you did that, could you, right? Here's the real question you got to ask yourself. Could you turn around and take the golden zone there? Because that was the trade. See, the breakout here, well, you never, ever, ever, just, I'll just say it, as long as I'm doing this, just never do it. Yes, at times it will run. It's never worth it, right? Because all you're doing is reinforcing the bad habit. If you just do this here and say, okay, well, oh God, I'm glad I didn't take it. Well, it looks like maybe there's a trend reversal. Well, what would be the safest way to trade that? Oh, looks like I got something impulsive here. Maybe I'll get a golden zone. See, it's always easy in hindsight, right? I get that, right? It's very easy in hindsight, but let's just zoom in there for a second. Because really, right, hopefully what you guys get out of this is just some ideas about how to approach the market. Now, it's not necessarily that you're sitting here with a limit order, although in this case, you damn near could have. I mean, look at the interesting example here. This is a case where we could call this, I mean, very different than a supply or a demand zone, right? So this is your classic prior resistance becoming support. But is that a demand zone? Well, it's pretty close to one. It looks like the closest one would be right here. But it didn't quite get there. Right, so this is not a demand zone because it doesn't do anything, right? I mean, even here, well, I guess you'd have one here, right? You call this, you got a little change of character here. So down here you'd have one, right? Just in the context of, okay, let's see if we can put a few concepts together. Okay, so you're coming back here. Now, do you know that that's going to hold? Of course not. And if you were trying to apply some market structure here, you might look at this and say, hey, break a structure. Well, here's a major break. Well, there's a double top, right? So I get a double top up here. Now, if I'm coming back to this, how do I pick that turn? How do I know to buy it? Well, I mean, if you were waiting for the demand zone to get hit, you got left with your mouse in your hand. But we've got to use multiple approaches here. All right, so when it goes into the golden zone, and we're on a 2 hour. Well, let's do it this way. Let's go down to a 15-minute. See how we could have traded this. Oh shit! Now can I get there? Oh fuck! Is it all the way over here? God damn! I guess it is. Okay, so now let's go. Let's dig into that. Could we have gotten this trade here? Well, let's get that one off of that. Well, it gets a little skinny here. So here's the dip into the golden zone. Let's see if I've got anything there. That's not as liquid as I would have anticipated. We don't it's not any better here. Last down, you might talk yourself into this right here. The last swing lower still didn't make it. All right, so here's the last down before we get the big push. So you know, this is just one of those that's tricky, right? You'd have to be here and you'd have to be watching that. Now, fuck, I know, what is that? I can't tell if that's 12:15 at 12:30 at night or 12 in the middle of the day to try and catch that. There's a couple of things you might do here in this kind of a situation. Okay, I got a pretty good channel here that's now being broken. This is a tricky one here because really what your best case here is rally kind of base and then you get some ongoing rally here. A tricky one. Yeah, I'll be honest, that's a tricky one because it's in and out of there so quick. So you'd really have to be watching that. So maybe not the best example here. I was hoping to find something there to give you a little more to work with other than you just had to be there. You had to see it. Now, right, this also a little tricky because you'd be wondering, geez, is that the fifth, right? Are we double topping into a fifth? A little bit tricky. All right, maybe I digressed unnecessarily there. I thought maybe I could give you something a little better there. So let's get these all off. All right, so back to his chart, which is, okay, does this still look good over here? Well, do you see how far you're pushing from the pivot, right? So that passage of time makes that look a little bit less attractive. Now remember, right, failure to make the median line, right, sets up a move, right? So this now looks like it could be threatened. So if we come back to this, oh shit. So he would be counting this way. Oh, come here. Never the first click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So there's the 5 that he's got that thing completing. So God, is that legit? Yeah, I guess we could make that work. 1, 2. Fuck. That's a big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not so sure about that. Well, anyway, we can finish with a 5, and at least we come off with a 5. So now I'd be a little bit mindful of what happened here. Oh shit, here I got myself in all sorts of trouble here, digressing. Okay, right, so the first question always, why does it stop here? Right, now here's right? So we're putting a lot of emphasis on the distinction between supply and demand zone and support and resistance. Well, here's prior support becoming resistance. So it's not like you just ignore any other potential structural impact here. Do you have a supply zone here? Oh, you probably could find one in here, right there. So, okay, right, a little confluence there, but clearly that's an impulse. So let's put his chart back together here. 3, 4, 5. All right, and now we've come down. We've done the golden zone here. So that was the second one that he noted, right? So we have this. It's just what you want here. It's much like we just looked at. What you want here is this, right? Not to drift and just drift, right? Because we see what's happening here. We're going here now. We're going too far sideways, so you start to lose conviction. Now that doesn't mean that this still couldn't pop, but I don't know that I'd still be holding here. Now, see, I've gone to a 4-hour. He gave me a 2-hour. It's just drifting too far for me to love it, right? Again, this is partly just based off of experience and just staring at charts for 30 years. When they drift this far, like even here, you would have been good. Now okay, so maybe that's the ABC, and we're gonna have a shallow C, so the extension, the one ABC. Okay, can I get a 5 there? Probably. You could probably stick around here. I don't know that I would be looking to go again. Oh shit! Here, just out of curiosity, let's go down to. Looks like we got it multiple. We might have a series going here. Okay, so here's the impulse. Okay, so we look here and we go, okay, why does it stop there? Right? Do you see how now? Okay, so here's a 50 to another 50. Looks like this one's a golden zone. So we're stuck in a sequence here. Well, we got a little break there, so you'd have to go back to the next one. Golden zone. So do you see how that works, right? So if it breaks one, you got to go back a pivot and then you'll find it, right? So we're in a series here, right? And you don't want to go on the other side of these until one of them fails, right? So here, 50, swing, golden zone, right? Now, you've got, what do you really have here? It's just a fib fight. There's where's the trend, right? At this degree here, well, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Now I don't have a lower low yet. But the question becomes, do I want to stick around here, right? And see, I get the thinking that, oh fuck, man, I don't want to take a loser, right? I'll stick around. But you got to be careful about that, because if the trade is not doing what you anticipated it to be doing, overstaying is usually the wrong choice. I'd rather take a small loser, get out, and then just reevaluate. Now, of course, you can look at this and say, okay, there's the ABC. Oh, there's the 1. This is the 2. Okay, maybe, right? So if you're going to stick around, that would be the thinking that would get you to stick around. But there's got to be a point where you say, okay, that's it, I'm out, right? And I would suggest at that 65, you don't stick around, because you're in a sequence here. All the targets are down here below, and the trend is working against you. This was working for you. Here, you're still good. Okay, maybe. Gets a little skinny here. Oh, same kind of thing, right? You're kind of stuck in the path of least resistance, which appears to be lower. So if you so ZZ, if you're going to stick around here, I wouldn't stay too long. Maybe A, B. What, did you get 786? God damn, I really digressed here, didn't I? 786, 887. Oh, pardon me, that's 786, 764. All right, well, it better show signs real soon. That better kick quickly, or it's just likely to just drift. And now you're like, oh fuck, I should have gotten out. Oh, why didn't I get out? Well, maybe it'll rally now. And that's then we kind of talk ourselves into, oh well, okay, well, maybe that support will hold it. And then you start to rationalize it, when really, if you didn't get what you were looking for, just get out and reevaluate. Now, you say, oh fuck, well, what if it does that? Well, if it does it, okay, well then I can come back here and go, oh, 1, 2. All right, well, there's got to be a 1, 2 in the next leg. Well, let me see if I can get this series to break, because right now they're holding, right? You're just in an algo series. right? So the ball, bears have the ball, right? Until one of these breaks, right? You're fighting the trend. So, all right, God damn, I really digressed there. I'm sure I didn't meant to go that far. Let's remove all this. All right, so trying to give you a little nugget or two in there. Yeah, I guess that's all I can add there. Okay, let me move on. I don't know if I've wasted time there or not. Okay, Frade 57 is giving me a truckload here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from Frade. Frade has some built up TA he needed to express. Okay, so this is one of his favorites because I know he posts this often. So maybe his largest position. Yeah, let's put that, and let's get that one buried. So here comes near from Frade 57. Be right back. Sorry, my AC auto resets to save energy. Okay, so here what I got. Okay, let's copy here. Save. All right, I'll get back in the groove of it. Jeez, I'm a little rusty on live streams. Okay, what do we got, Fred? Near, and you're going arithmetic, not log. Okay, what's our range here? Well, see, I'd be real tempted to go to log. Did you not give me? Oh, wait a second. You're saying left. Did I get it wrong? Left. No, that's all I got here, man. So I only have. But you gave it to me out of log. So what do you mean by left? Near left. I'm not sure what he means there, Monte Crypto. Left. Is it something?
Yeah, let me look and I'll get back to you and let you know.
Yeah, see if there's something. I'm not sure what, because you see his note. He's saying near is left, and then the next one is left. So it makes me think that he's got something else here that he wanted to split. Maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe that's what he did. Okay, so that's what he did. He wanted me to look at the one on the left. Okay, I got it. All right, so. Well, see, I think the range here is so far that I would be really wanting to look at this in myself, right? If I just brought this chart up, the very first thing I'd do is that. Well, but that's not how he's looking at it. So let me go with what he's got. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. So what we've just done is just full round trip, right? That's it, right? Much of crypto has done the same thing. Much of the alts, for sure. And the implication here is that this is just one more leg down, right? We come down one more time. So let's go from the daily. Let's go to a 4 here and see if we can make sense of this. 1, 2. That's a big 3. Well, do we even need to do that, right? I mean, let's go back to that 8. What, or even the daily? So why here? It's kind of the question. I mean, my thought being, if I can buy it, God, I never get that. Come on. If I can buy it down here, you know, that you're in the accumulation range here. So, you know, you got to, Jesus, I'm having a struggle here. You got to pay attention to where 0 is. Oh, he's in percentage. Jesus, did I do that? I want regular. There we go. That's why I couldn't get that thing to go lower. 0 is not too far away. So if you're a believer, so what this comes down to, are you a believer in the story of near and the problem it's solving, and or whatever efficiency it's bringing to the market? Is this a contender to survive? Because we're not too far from saying game over, right? I mean, 0's not far away. So if it comes down in here, this is what I would do. I wouldn't worry so much about this. So what is it? Okay, is it a 3? That's a big monster 3. Now, this is what I would do. I would do it this way and say, oh, okay. looks a little bit better down here. But clearly, I mean, we can see where the support is. Now, is it demand? Oh, you probably tee one up here. Oh shit, I'd probably use the whole down move. So the implication is, okay, so is there a trade here? Well, I think he's kind of suggesting the same thing I would suggest. It's too well. I wouldn't be looking for a sell, right? Where you wanted to sell up here, right? So if you're coming down here, do you want to sit with a limit order? Maybe, right? If you're a real near enthusiast, but I'd want to see the first test, and then I'd want to see a reaction that failed, that couldn't get to a new low, right? Because there's nothing says it couldn't do that, and then they just keep going. One of these, I'd need a higher low, just to say, okay, do I have the ingredients for maybe the first piece of a trend change? Because until I get a higher high, I don't have a trend change. I just have the threat of a trend change, right? That could just as easily do that and come down. God, I swear to God, I can't get that thing first time. I mean, nothing says we couldn't do that. So you really don't confirm it. God, am I rusty? I'm rusty. You really don't confirm it until you get that, right? Give me some version of that. Give me a new high. Okay, so I got, well, even better if I did it like this. Do you see why? Pardon my lame drawing. Why would this be better than where I had it down here? Why is it better? Well, because I'd have change of character. Right? So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Oh. Right? Now break of structure. Right? Now I got a possible 3 going in. So I don't think you need to do, I mean, it's not to in any way diminish the work that he put into getting this count right, but I don't think you need to spend a whole lot of time thinking about the TA here. You're in, okay, it's either game on, this thing survives, or it doesn't zone. But I wouldn't ignore things like this, right? I'd want to see, okay, even log scale or not, okay, well, here's the 2618, right? If you get something like that, I might do it like this. This getting kind of mighty extreme, but if you're down here, if you're at, what are we at, $1.24? The real question is, are you comfortable parking money there? Because if it's going to dick around in here for a while, you could be there for, if we come out of here and near is going to survive and thrive. Oh, the other easy thing to do would be just a regression channel off of this move. Take all of it. Oh, shit, I'm in log scale. I can't do it that way. I always forget that. Right, can I get, right, as he's noting here, right, he's got a little channel here, the 2 standard deviations, I can't get outside of that. So somehow I would like to see something like this happen and then come and retrace and hold and then go. All right, so I know that's one he's been watching for a long time, so he must really like the story. But is that ripe for a buy here? Well, I don't think I would say that. But come down a little bit lower, and I think you start nibbling. Okay, so let's, I got, what is this one? CHR to USDT. All right. And same thing on the left here. Did I copy that? No, I need to copy that. So on the left. All right, this looks a little more interesting. Okay, oh shit. Yeah, I think he gave it to me in log here. So we got some Monty magic here, right? Noting all the important weekly pivots. It looks like he's got weekly, is it weekly only? I bet he's got more than that, right? No, maybe not. He's got his all the weekly pivots. Is there any question about what happened on the way up? Anybody have a hard time spotting that? I'm going to guess not. Anyone on this webinar, right? Didn't threaten here. Kind of deep, right? And this was deep. Clear impulse. So I got to do it this way here so I can follow along here. So we just hit the 50. So interesting. Right? So he's going for a sale here. So WX, so AB, that's clearly a 5, right? So ABC, right, into a W. X, that's clearly a 3. Oh, it's getting a little wonky here. You're giving me the daily. Let's go to the 8. 1, 2. I'd agree with that. Well, that looks like most of crypto, right? It looks kind of like Bitcoin. Is it a 2, right? Where's the 2? Where's Waldo in this, right? It looks very much like Bitcoin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tricky, right? So it would be a truncation here, although that's all wick into an A. Doesn't look impulsive. Is there an alt here? Do we have an alt? Do you have an alt on the other side? No. Let's go back here. Well, you can see the potential alt already, right? So, well, okay. So why would you be reluctant to make this your primary? Because a truncation is a last resort. You never start out and go, oh, truncation. I got it, truncation. No, that truncation really has to prove itself, and the only way that's going to prove itself is to get an impulse out of that, right? You have to verify that. Otherwise, the odds are, right? And it's all we play is odds. Odds are that's not the low. Not to mention that's a pretty shitty looking finish, right? If this is it, that's your 5. That little fart down there, that's not much of a 5. Let's see. Let's try a 2 hour here. And plus it finishes as a 3. Now it's Elliott's not perfect, right? I mean, you could probably wedge something in there, but it sure does look like it finishes with a 3, right? So I'd be highly suspect as that is the hard low. I'd be suspect of that even as the low of the A. We have much of an alternative here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Even that looks shitty. This is it's much like Bitcoin, right? It's the same. Where the fuck are we? What is this? Well, of course, no trade is often when you're not sure, unless you're already in it. There's not a trade begging to be laid on here. It's okay, maybe. So I'd start looking for fibs, right? Okay, how did I do here? Slight break. Well, let's see. It's all wick, right? We allow the wick to go, right? No close above, right? It's just a wick run. So what's likely happening there? And how do we know what's likely happening there? That's likely a stop run, not just because they got hit and did this, because it got hit and did this, right? That's how you're... Okay, what happened there, right? So did some fundamental news change the market? No, more likely that's just market manipulation, right? Happens in every market every day, right? It's just part of the game. You just have to accept it. Was that a 5? God. It looks to me like this is part of a 3. Like this is A, B, C. Zoom in there. Why don't it look a little bit more like that's what happened here? This is a 3, this is a 3, and this is a 5. That's a bit of a squish in there anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that symmetry would be terrible. Let's just out of curiosity see if we broke the 2618. We didn't, right? Which would be kind of pushing the extreme of an AB with a ripper in the C. I'm not sure that I see a trade here just waiting. It's much like Bitcoin. Is there a trade there really, right? We can all kind of talk ourselves into it, but if you pull this thing out to a longer time frame, I don't know that I see a trade there. If anything, right, the short that he's teeing up here, that might be a little thin for me. All right, so let's assume that we get that, right? We want to see a B up at least over a 50, right? Again, market's not obligated to do it. Looks like you might have a order block in here we could probably work with right around the golden zone if you got that up a little higher. Now I'm in log here. Let's take it out of log just out of curiosity. Jeez, I got a lot of lines on here. That's a lot of lines. That might be too far. I might look there. Bottom line here, I just don't see a trade, right? I'm trying to accommodate the bias here. I don't see any reason to take that trade. You got the little correction here, but then we don't get a new low here. I don't get a new high here. I don't get a new low here. So it very well could just be a triangle. right? Something like that. No trade, right? That's would be my conclusion here. Okay, I spent enough time looking at it. Is there some reason to be long or short here? I don't see either. Now, afraid may be in the trade here, but I don't see any reason to put on anything new myself. All right, God, I'm going slowly today. Okay, so let me see what else we got here, Frade. We got Avax. Let me copy that one. Sorry, I had an open trade on the other machine I had to close. Fortunately, got that one as a winner. Okay, what are we doing? We got to pay attention. Avax to the dollar tether. Okay, I'm here, guys. I'm rusty. All right, Avax. What do we like here on Binance? All right, Avax. We are in log. Again, we got an impulse. Looks much like his last one. ABC, right? We can't be done here. That's a 3. It was damn near the same as the... So many of the alts doing the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this one, right? What's the difference? Right here, we get a clear impulse to come down and finish it. Now, is it an A or is it... Are we overthinking this? Well, let's see. Can we do this as a 3, 3? Well, fuck. I guess it wouldn't matter. No, I think we are stuck here. So A, B, so we're stuck with the WXY. I don't think there's a workaround there. Can't get that into a 5. And this looks technical, so let's just out of curiosity. Yep. Funny how that's where you find them. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Wish we got through all of that. Clear impulse. Now, this is a good example here. I've been kind of trying to focus on this because I've been focusing on in my day trading over in the futures market. And this is a really powerful price action phenomenon, right? When these, and I'll maybe get here a little fatter here. The break of a trend line like this, the implication here, this is Al Brooks, right? Really pioneered this whole concept, is that implies another move down. So why is that? Because retail on the break of the trend line or channel in this case, you can just think of this as a trend line. Who buys here, right? Retail buys. Oh my God, we broke the channel. Off we go. Right, and the target, the minimum target would be the low, right? So if we come out of this now, so you look at it and say, okay, well, all right, that's good to know. But would the pattern support that? Well, that's a pretty big A wave. Sure is. So we'd be going for the WXY is a little fat, right? So it would be WXY, right? If that's going to go ABC, let me get off of there. ABC, that's a pretty wicked distortion. I'm not sure that's good news for that trade. But we take them one at a time. Okay, so on the daily, God, how else could we trade this? I don't really see much else here to make that look any better. I think we're kind of stuck with that. Well, okay, so again, I kind of come back to that. Do I want this trade here yet? So, I mean, if it's a WXYX and this is just the A, this thing is going to distort so far that, I mean, to take it out of log scale, this is going to be just a monster. Well, now maybe it looks a little better here out of log scale. So the first ABC is not so compressed, right, as the nature of log, where they compress the upper range and we expand the lower. It doesn't look quite as bad here, but we're still talking about a potential C. If this is the B, holy shit, right? Oh, fuck, we can't do that. Or we got to pay attention to where 0 is. Right, is this what we're doing? I mean, really, where's 0? Pretty in there, right? I mean, we're not far from it. Avax not going to make it. Well, it's not looking great. So you're kind of back in, okay, if you're a believer, if you're a Bieber believer, I mean, it's almost, the question becomes, could I park some money here because I'm a believer in Avax? Or, in whatever problem they're trying to solve or value they're trying to add. Is that a trade I'd want here? I don't know that the TA is really meaningful here because it's so distorted. This would just be, okay, well, accumulation. So we're talking about, what are we buying here at $22? If you can buy this, I might even do it this way. I might just split that in half and just say, okay, if I can buy here in the discount zone here under $12, I'd park some money here. I'd let this accumulate. Now, you want to be, if that's not, you don't like that thinking, I'd want to see some capitulation because that doesn't look like one, right? And then all we did was a 3. So, oh, well, fuck, again, we got to pay attention to 0. Okay, so come down here, show me some sort of bullish activity here, and then you wait for the retest of that range, right? And see if this again, not necessarily demand, but prior resistance can become support, right? Can we get something like that started? Because you don't have to worry about FOMO down here. Jesus Christ, right? I mean, you're not going to have any time to get on board there. It's not going to. Well, no sooner than I say it's not going to do it in a straight line, right? Has it done it in a straight line? Well, not a. We had a little retrace there, but boy, when they go, they can absolutely rock. Just out of curiosity, this looks like it's technical. All right, so already to and through first target. Looks like you would have gotten it. Oh, we had a break there. So we got to go back one. So the 50 holds it. Accumulation zone. That's all that's left here, right? If 0 is that close, just accumulate and say, okay, can I park money? Am I comfortable parking money there for the upside potential? Because really you have two alternatives here. Either it's just going to waffle down here, right? And it's just the opportunity cost of parking money there, or eventually we're going to start to come back. I think the TA is almost meaningless there. Afraid, not that I don't appreciate your TA. I do. But that's a tough one. Okay, let's see how Solana's doing. That's his last one. Let me just, let's keep Elliott in some perspective, right? It's not magic. All right. Solana. Oh, this one is getting... Okay, so we got all of our weeklies. Here's your... Is that something from you, Monty? Is that the key 1-to-1? Is that Monty Magic? I may not know what it means there, but it's pretty clear impulse, right? Nice detail here, nice little triangle here, gets us up into the 5. So hard to miss that.
What were you referring to?
Well, in this here where it says key 1-to-1, I thought maybe that's something in your repertoire.
No, it's key 1-to-1. Typically, it's probably a trend-based fit, maybe.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought it was maybe language that you used that I wasn't familiar with.
No, I don't use that one. Typically, I see James M using that one, and that's
okay.
Just a trend-based normally.
Okay. All right. Well, do we have any trouble figuring out where the trend is here? Well, so that's a matter of degree, right? So here's the trend. So far, this is just an internal retracement. So is it done, right? So that's the question you're asking yourself. Okay, well, if it's going to be internal, the implication is new highs are inevitable, right? That's the implication, not the inevitability. Pretty clear channel on the way down. What are we doing here? I'm assuming that's a target of some sort. Okay, so let's bust this thing open. So let's go into the 4-hour and take a look at it. So why does he want to sell it here? That's what we want to ask ourselves. Okay, so he's got a lot of detail working on. So Fred, we'll get into the detail. A, B, C, W, right? So we're getting stuck with this in crypto a lot, right? Combinations. A, B, C, W, X. A, B, yeah, that'll work. A, B, C into the Y here. A, B, C into the X. It's just my habit. I just do these in green so I can see them. Oh, that's not a golden zone, although it looks like it. Although it looks like it might be a 50. And it is. Ooh, how about that for eyeballing? That's 50 to the tick. For a second, just missed it. So we got, that was the technical pivot. So we know this is a good looking X. 1, 2, what else are you going to do there? Right, 3. Jesus, these are really extending. So I kind of have the same concern here with this as in, would I take it? Well, I'd like it a lot better up here. Let's come back here. Now, just because that's where you'd prefer it doesn't mean you're going to get it. So then it's a question of, am I okay taking it here? Well, let's dig in there. Okay, we're making that the A wave. That might be a, does that work? Yeah, it looks like it does, actually. That's pretty sexy. It looks like it's a double bottom, so he can pull that off, actually. I think he's right. Yep, he can. All right, so do you see what he's doing? A, B, C, A, B, C. Well, this is a stretch. A, B, C. But it works. Okay, so we're going to go W. So he's going to go leading diag into the A. This is a little skinny, but, well, we should probably do it here. Truncate there. Into the, so we get a W. Again, my force of habit, I go into green on those. A, B, C. A, B, C. So he's got W, X, Y here into the B. Again, this is just my force of habit. Into the larger B. This is some complex Elliott. Okay, we got 5 coming down into a 3. Well, shit, right? The risk reward here is going to be pretty friendly. So waiting for that to finish, right? So the setup here is not ripe yet because we haven't finished the 5. So my guess is he's going to have that in the right spot, right? He does, right? So between the 50 and the golden zone here, that's where you'd be looking to enter that. If you get a golden zone here, you'd have a golden corner. Now it's impulsive, right? Because you're anticipating this to finish with a, you're trying to get an impulse here. If this is the A, this is the B, can we get an impulse into that C? So thus you would stay here. We can pull this. Oh fuck, hang on. We can pull this. Oh, Jesus, come on here. All right, there we go. We can pull that over. So you'd stay in original recipe here because you're looking for an impulse to come off of that. Here's your target. This actually could play pretty well. So what of course, right? We want to try and sell as close to where we're wrong as possible, right? So he's already got that in play. We don't we don't have this last push down to get the 5 here to confirm, and we don't have the 3 to take it back up yet. So there's a little bit of a, okay, this should go on your watch list. If I get this, well, I got a pretty nice looking setup. I've got a low risk trade, and you could do this 2 ways. You could wait for the 3 to complete the first little retest, take that, right? So now your risk reward here pretty friendly. If I get the 1, 2, I'm looking for the 3, 4, 5. So you got a clear target. I won't even use that. That would be first target, second, third. If you get the 3, right? We know that's going to be 1, 2, 3. We get it. 4, 5. Pretty ambitious targets down there. Let's go back to his 8 and see why he's so ambitious on that target. So we'd have, this would be the C he'd be after of the Z. So just first thought here is that may be too much to go for, given how shallow the B is. See, if this came a little bit bigger, I might think that. But since this is shallow, I might not be that optimistic about that target. Well, we do have an order block down here, which he noted, right? So good call there. What's going to get us into the golden zone here? Down here. I think that he's already got that teed up. He does, right? And so we have an order block right at it. So I see what he's done. Okay, so he's looking to be a buyer down here. That's a, I know that's a shitload of lines here. Let me get this off here since I've got that marked. So if this were going to be A, B, C, let's see what we'd be projecting there. A, B, 127, 138, that could do. Well, I'd probably do it in threes. I would take the first, if I got the 3 here, I would take a partial there on the first one. On the second one, I might look to go either 618 or to the 100. And if I had a third one, then I'd go for the third one to go down here all the way to the golden zone. So sort of like Grant does it, where you have, so you take a third, and a third on the home run ball, right? And you leave a third for the potential home run if we're going to go all the way to golden zone, where we have this big fat order block here waiting for it. That's pretty negative for crypto if that's what we're saying for Solana, right? If Solana is going to come down to back to $4 from $200, I'm thinking we're going to be in a world of hurt, right? If that's what's happening in Solana. I'm not that bearish on it, but you can't argue with the TA, right? I mean, certainly the threat is there for it to do that. That's not encouraging. Any better out here? No, it's really not. Can't say that's good-looking news for the entire ETH and Solana. No, we'll see. We'll see. Let's take it out of log, just out of curiosity, how we look here. See, you can't. It's almost you can't even analyze it out of log. How are you gonna? You really can't work with it, right? The moves are so extreme. You can't on a daily. You can't work with it. So you got to go down to a 2-hour here and try and open that up and say, okay, if I'm here on the daily, does this look a little bit better? Well, it does, right? It starts to look a little bit more reasonable until you get out to the daily and say, I can't read anything here, so I got to go to log scale. So you're kind of stuck in the back and forth of, okay, I'm going to go down to the 2-hour and look in arithmetic, then I'm going to go to the daily and look in log, which is, not ideally what you want, but we might just be stuck with that because of the range of the upswing we had in crypto, and then the range of the correction that we're getting here. So none of this is particularly encouraging at the moment, but if I were to come back up here towards this after completing this 5, I'd take a long, hard look at that sell. All right, let me keep moving. I got getting bogged down today. All right, James M. What do we got here? So he's given me ETH. Okay, so I got James M with ETH on the bottom left. All right, come on, ETH, you can save us. Let's get out of here. Got the big upgrade coming. Bottom left. Oh, I got to make a copy. All right, ETH bottom left, tagged to 1-to-1. Oh, well, there it is, tagged to 1-to-1. Okay, so now we're going to understand what that's about, what he's referring to. All right, so what do I have here? It looks like volatility bands. That's Keltner's. Bollinger's. Okay, so we got Bollinger bands. And we got... Okay. And this is a little different. Okay, let's zoom in there. Getting the daily. Well, so what you can see right off the bat here, we got a big increase in volatility. This is where Bollinger Bands are really effective, right? So you can see the contraction, expansion, right? Contraction. Right? I mean, they visually show it to you. Expansion. Or so we often will look at it this way, right? Again, look how nicely this does this, right? Contraction as the bands come together, expansion, contraction, expansion. That's exactly how the market moves. Contraction. Geez, wonder what will happen here. You don't know which way it's going to go. What you do know is that it's not likely to stay that way for long. Right? Not likely. Right? We are too restless. Right? Somebody will pump something, even if just to set up the short. Right, so that's a nice. I'm glad you put those on, James, because it really demonstrates that how nicely and how the market moves from balance to imbalance. Now you'd call this all really balance, range, imbalance. Well, you can see it in the candles, right? Boom, boom, boom. Big ripping candles here.
He said wrong chart.
Oh,
So
wrong chart here. I'm going, you told me. Bottom
maybe
left.
it's a good chart, but he's messaging me saying wrong one.
Okay, but it says ETH bottom left. All right, shit, James, what am I supposed to look at here? You told me ETH. Okay, ETH bottom left. ETH tagged to 1-to-1 on error the time up. ETH second chart. Oh fuck. Okay, so he's giving me. Okay.
So he's got four. He's got four of them on that copy.
Yeah.
So go to the small left, bottom left one, the one that says make missing information. It seems.
Okay. Here I was thrilled about all the Bollinger Band I was going off on there. All right, so well, this is much like Bitcoin. It's the same. All right, this is where I look at this and I go, are we as Elliotticians, are we forcing a count here? Are we? All right, is this one? Are we doing A, B, C? Jesus, how? Oh, I see. So we've got three candidates here. So we've got possibly an A, an expanded B into a C for an A, right? And then we'd come up for a B. So we'd be doing a kind of an ugly flat. It could be an ABC into a W, and we're doing an X. Or it could be a 1A. Oh fuck! Can we do that? Yeah, I guess we can. So then we'd be doing it this way, or we're doing a 1 A B, oh fuck me, A B C into a 2 here, which I see that being posted a lot. I'm not so sure I buy that just yet, right? We got to get that. Okay, so if this gets complex and takes a little bit more time, okay, maybe, because look at the amount of time here relative to this, right? Okay, it's not like it's never happened before, but it would, for me, I'd want to see that. Okay, prove it to me. Give me that 5, because I'm not worried. If this ends up being the 4 here, okay, all right, well, I missed a little of that. Is it likely to just keep going? Well, shit, anything's possible, right? Could it? It could. What's more likely? And then what's to follow? I'd wait for that, right? I'd want this to confirm, right? I mean, we've been in a bear market for so long, right? I mean, at least give me the first 5 before I start thinking about adding to longs here that are based on a technical approach rather than just, well, fuck, if it's that low here, I'm interested. Okay, prove it to me. Now, of course, right, and James knows this well, right? There's going to be plenty of resistance it's going to have to get through. Let's pick your pivot, right? We start with the 2. All right, so that would take it right to the 50. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, can I actually finish it here? Well, it looks like you can. Right, as you see it, he's got a finish here, right? 1 sideways into the 2. Here's the 3 sideways into the 4. There's the 5. Okay, so this actually looks quite good, right? In terms of we're always doing this. Does it have the right look? Does it have the right look? Yes, that has the right look. Does this have the right look as it sits right here? Well, it looks incomplete, right? Oh, you can kind of do this, right? Same thing here, right? Prior support becoming resistance, right? It's different than supply, right? Make that distinction in your mind's eye. It's a different thing. But of the two, supply much more impactful to the market than just a number that got a double bottom. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm just saying of the two, right? I would always defer to the supply zone over just a pivot that the market responded to. One's a zone, one's a number. On a positive note here, on the 3 hour here, we've look Vegas wave, right? Here's the last time. Here's when the 233 flipped underneath all the way down. Whoop. All right, so that's encouraging. So we might have the start of it. It might be. Now note here, he's also got a 4 here, which would mean we did it this way. Which this doesn't look as good with regards to right look. Look how tiny that 2 is. Now we're gonna go 3, 4. Okay, yeah, okay. It's not like we've never seen that before, but of the two, which looks better? Oh, come here! God damn it! Going to be a little anticlimactic. Well, okay, it's not the worst I've ever seen. You know, that's, I mean, to that, it's not just how little time is taken in the 2 relative to the 4. It's the depth of the 3 relative to the 1. I mean, that's a monster 3. Right? It's probably open to interpretation here as to, is that the 1-2, right? Or is it 1-2? Right? This is such a cluster here that nobody really is sure up here. No Elliottician is sure. Right? We can't be sure, right? Until we see how this resolves. This is a very reasonable hypothesis. It could be. I like the other count better, right? It just looks better, right? This just looks better, right? Looks like a completed 5, right? Then rather than that other one, it's a little bit tougher to give it that right look. So here we get, what did we get down here? Are we technical down here? Looks like we might be. Is that, that looks like maybe that's too deep, right? But we're probably 786 or somewhere in that range. Oh shit, I'll be damned. What? The nerve of me to not anticipate. 1, 2. What was I thinking? Do I have that 1 right? Yeah, I do. Okay, so we get a golden corner here, a little double dip into the golden zone here. Jesus, you know, James, fuck, this is all just, I think that's a little bit of let's hurry up and wait. Now, what helps here is if we're coming back to the median line and we're going to hold here, which he well knows. All right, if we come back to this, okay, right, so trading principle number 3, if we're not going to pivot right on it, right? Now, granted, we've already realized the initial 80%, right? That's already burned, right? So now it's just, is this potentially support down here at the median line, which there's nothing really to look at to say, okay, maybe if you're looking at a volume profile, you'd have a little something right here. So this now, what was an order block, now it's a broken order block is a breaker block, right? So you got potential. Okay, maybe. That's a whole lot of maybes. Again, James, and for anyone else watching here, this has got to complete for me because I'm not worried about missing it, right? If the retrace will come. See, right? Is it a 4? Is it a 5? Give me that. Okay, now I know it's a 5. Now I'm leaning back into, now I go, okay, well, I preferred the look of that first 5 down anyway, so now I got an impulse off of the 1. Right, now can you make that work on the larger time frame? What else do you have here? Oh, those are all smaller. Well, there's the daily, right? So we'll come back to the daily. So what would we'd be doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right into the prior, right, contraction right here was we were talking about before with the Bollinger Bands. And if I did this, right, you know what's going to be there, right? So just because we stalled there, right, you're going to have all of this that's going to have to contend with. Of course, doesn't mean it can't get through, but if you were just looking at this going, where might that likely run into some resistance? Okay, and then we do the same thing, right? Again, I know James would know to do this, right? So anyone else here watching, oh, God, maybe we get through. What are you going to run right into? The 50. Then you're going to have this, right? Prior resistance, right? Potentially becomes support. Or pardon me, prior support becomes resistance. I'm right at a 50. Is an algo going to fire there? Yeah, an algo is going to fire there. Where's the 233 going to be? Right there as well. So if you're a buyer here, I wouldn't be assuming, we're off to set new highs, right? That's just I know, right? When you're in it, it's like, oh, maybe it'll keep going. Maybe it'll keep going. But be realistic about how far that really could go. I mean, if you feel like, oh man, I think that thing's going to go, well, then don't take all of it off. Get 70% of it off. Because otherwise, see, you're counting on abnormal, right? You don't want to count on that. Oh, maybe it'll go. Maybe it'll go. Take your winner, right? If you got that, shit. What do we have here? 1579 to 1963. That's not a bad little trade. You're coming right into the POC, and wait. Okay, what happens? Because that's what you'd anticipate. Right back into some of that structure. Now I know where I am. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I got something going. Now crypto winter, maybe we're putting it in the rear view. Maybe crypto winter will come right as seasonal winter comes. Wouldn't that be amusing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Crypto winter is over. But that's a lot of still yet to come. All right, James, appreciate the post. I like what you're doing over here with the Bollinger Bands, right? Bollinger Band, people are like, no, fuck Bollinger Bands. That's my grandfather's stuff, right? Well, so is Elliott Wave, right? There's a reason that it's, I mean, just look at it, right? Could you not extract some value out of this? Where does it consolidate? What's the absolute proven truth of Bollinger Bands? From consolidation comes expansion. Just go through a chart, put it on there, right? And see how many times you go, whoa, holy shit, right? You're not kidding. It gives you no directional bias here. You just know that if I'm consolidating here, here's a nice example, right? I'll tie some concepts together here. Okay, so I got a little channel here. I get a little break, right? Here's the price action. I get a little break of the channel. What does retail do? Oh, fuck, it broke. It's going to the floor. What's likely to happen, right? There's going to be one more push up, right? It's just the way it's just how people are. It's not that they're, it's just a lack of experience, right? They don't know how frequently the market is manipulated against them, right? So, oh, it broke the channel because I read that in Trading 101. So if it breaks the channel, I can go short. No, that's exactly the opposite, right? Which is why we're, all of us have been on the journey, right? Trying to figure out trading. And usually the thing you learn first ends up being the exact opposite of what you want to do. All right. Boy, I'm all over the map today. All right, what else do I have here from James? So I got, this one keeps coming back to me. This is the one I think we just looked at, right? So I've got this one. I think we dealt with that one. Okay, let me keep moving here. I'll go all day. Jeez, I'm chatty and all over the place today. Al-Wanahi. Oh, let's see. He gave me this. Al-Wanahi is the one who gave me that alternate count. Is this the same one? That's all I can do at the moment. It's hectic. If it's hectic, then just forget it. Oh, Al-Wanahi, I'm not going to forget it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Al-Wanahi gave me that. Oh, so no, this is similar to the count that he gave me. Okay, so this is TRB. Oh, I don't hate this. Okay, so, well, okay. This as it sits, we can't label it that way. Okay, so let's bring it up here and just go over this, right? So I'm assuming you guys would all see the potential problem here. It could just be that there's not enough data there. TRB to, oh fuck, here, let's go to Avax. Let's go, no, that's the copy. So I need here, that's a copy too. Shit, hang on. That's a copy. So I need here, I'm going to go TRB USD. And what was it on? It's a 3-day TRB USDT on Binance. Okay, let's get that up and we'll get a 3-day. A 3-day. Okay, so we're going. All right, what are we thinking here? Okay, so let's get this up. Okay, so, all right, so here's a pretty good example of, does anybody want to try and tackle that out of log? I mean, could you? Yeah. I mean, we got a range here, shit, 160, right? So typically it's 4 times the range, 3 or 4, right? Sensei Tudum and I kind of go back and forth of this. When you get 4 times the range, yeah, you got to look at it, and you got to at least look at it in log scale. Does it get any better here? Well, I don't know that it does. But one thing for sure we cannot do, right? And just he's still learning. You can't go 1 and have 2. Well, I don't mean to chuckle, right? You can't go 1 and then have 2 be below the start of 1, right? So we can't do that. But what he did acknowledge here is that there's an impulse in here. Now, I don't know if there's more history somewhere. Oh, it almost doesn't matter, right? So this is an impulse, and this looks corrective at this point in time, but you can't go 1, 2, right? So we can just say, okay, we don't have enough history here. Oh, what can we do here? That's pretty solid. Let's get that tightened up a little bit. Oh, looks like you probably got some geometry here you could work with. I will often start on the outside. Now, this is corrective. So when we're corrective, we always want to start with the shift. We start there. We may not end up there, but that's where I start looking. Okay, do I got a little runner here? Yeah, maybe you get something like this. This is what the first thing. I mean, you could just add a line to it, but it's just faster to do this. Okay, about equidistance here, right? So it seems like the geometry is holding, right? You can just visually see we're equidistance here. Same thing here, right? So we're moving in ranges here. Here's the 233. I don't have enough data on a 3-day to get a 233. So the question becomes, okay, is this a low that would potentially start us into a new uptrend? Well, this is encouraging, right? We're above the 50. Remember, above the 50 is a sign of trend strength in an RSI. Often, right, the 50 is resistance, almost always, right? If it can get through it, right, it's got to get through and then hold, right, to get to the above 70. I don't like the language overbought because it implies that too many people have bought, which is never the case. Extended, and we can use that language. Okay, so is this something that's completed here? Could we be done here? Well, that looks like 5. Yeah, we could probably do it. I don't know that it's you got to be uber 1 2 something 4. It's close enough, right? So 1 2 3 4 5. Looks like you might have a leading diag there. I am on a daily here. Can we get that to fly? Well, let's just see if it's technical. All right, so first question, right? So why does it stop here? Do I have a good, let's just out of curiosity see how we look here. So that, can we get a diag in there? Oh shit, come here. Can we? Let's go to an 8-hour. Oh fuck, come here. I want to do that. Looks like I can. Am I long enough here? 1 2. I am. So I'd go 1. Yeah, that's not great looking correction. That's not really a 3, is it? So let's go 1 2 3 4. That's a little choppy. All right, let's try and label it. So if this is 1 2, Jesus, can you get that to work? You can't get an impulse here, so you'd have to do. I'm tempted to go 5 3 5 3 5. Let's just lay it out here. 4 5. Now the implication would be that I can dig a 5 out of that. I can't really make that work, can I? Because I can't get that. I can't get a clear. Maybe I can go. That's pushing it there to go 1 2 3 4 5. A B C. Well, and this is. Did we get a 618 here? 786, too deep. That's a tough one here. Maybe I got to go down lower. Let's do it this way. Here, let's go to a 2-hour. Is this even worth digging that out? I can do an ABC here. That might look better. But so I'd have to go ABC, which is a little bit of a force fit. ABC, is it there? Well, kind of. ABC, so into the 4, so I guess I can do it. Boy, that's not much. That looks like an impulse, right? That's the problem with that. Okay, so this we do have an impulse here. So we don't get the right subdivision here. Fuck, I don't see another way to count that. 1 2 A B. Can I? Yeah, maybe I can do it that way. Yeah, I guess I can. So I could go A B. 1 2 3 4 5. All right, so I can go A B C like that. So I can make the diag. All right, so there's a leading diag. Not the prettiest ever, but we can probably make that fly. Awful wiki up here. don't have a tremendous amount of confidence in that, but you got to label it. Okay, we can probably make that fly. Okay, so I got a leading diag. Leading diag gets me out of the hole here. I've got that. Let's get you out of here. So leading diag would suggest deeper retracement. So something like this. Well, you can sure see how this was resistance, 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 resistance. Right? Does that come back here? So let's give it a full labeling here. So candidate for a 1, we'd be looking for a 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go up at micro, get that white. Okay, that's a contender. Looks like I got to start on an A here, B, C. That's probably too big. Maybe, right? This looks like, let's go 30 minutes. Is that really a 3? Sure looks like it. Well, that looks like a triangle 4, but I'm guessing you're going to have to go A, triangle, B, C into an A. Looks like I'm going to need that to go deeper. If this is going to be 3, if I'm going to go into a flat or something along those lines. This looks like A, B, C. So I don't really want an impulse here. Oh, fuck, actually, I guess I could live with it. But it would be so shallow of a correction. It wouldn't be what I'd hope for. But is it an impulse? Yeah, it is an impulse. Let's label it. All right, 1, 2. Oh, you fucker. I can't do it. You'd have to call that a leading die, so that doesn't work. So how can we make that fly? We'd have to go this way. We'd have to go A, B, C. Well, now we're going to have to do it over here. That's a clear 3. B, this is a fucker. So you probably have to work that as an ending diag, or God, can I even get that at a 15? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if it's better over here. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, can we pull that off? Maybe we can do it this way. Well, it's getting pretty sloppy. A, B, C really doesn't look good. Tough one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get that to fly, but that's not enough for an. And I can't get the impulse there, so we're just kind of stuck here. The Elliott we're kind of cock blocked in either direction. So you'd have to go back to A, B, C, D, E. So this is solid. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Not much of a finish there. It looks like a bunch of 3s. 3, 4. You'd have to do A, B, C, and just imply the 5th there. So A, B, C. But this, I don't have anything there yet. Well, I suppose we can, right? So when I can't find something, what can I find, right? I'll often just say, okay, is this A, B, C? Maybe. Fuck, that looks like a little triangle. Ooh, this is right on the edge, right? So this doesn't have a lot of liquidity, which is why I'm guessing it's so choppy. That even that is suspect. So okay, there's some sort of 1, 2 in here. 1, 2, Jesus, you'd have to truncate this. You'd have to go 1. Oh fuck, you can't even do it. So this is kind of what I would just lay out, saying, okay, I don't like it, and it's kind of unclear. So at this point, I would do one of two things. Either I would just hold off on the Elliott until it clears up and say, okay, what can I work with here? Well, come here. Do I have anything technical here that would guide me? It's not great. We're already to and through, so I can't say I got anything here that I love. The only last resort here, if I went to just did some market structure on this, is that going to help give me any opportunities here that I might look for? I'd go right back to a 4-hour. All right, if I'm going to try and trade this here, if the Elliott is this unclear, is there something else I can work with here? This is probably light volume here. So all of this wickiness that we see here, right? We're trying to deal with that. Often creates problems for the Elliottician here because you've got all of this overlap here. It's always is going to be better where there's more liquidity. Because of this very issue, right? So can I look at this and say, okay, well, is there a way to trade this? Well, the current trend here on the 4-hour is up, right? I can see here's the last low, here's the high, right? So I've retraced, got into the discount zone here. I'm at an order block here, but the trend is up. Do I want to take that as a short? Well, I might, right? The risk reward is so good. If I came back down here, maybe I'd have something a little bit better. So then the 1 and the 2 might start to make more sense. Okay, is this some sort of ugly diag? Okay, maybe, but A, B. And of course, now if this is going to be ABC, as a flat, you'd want that to go higher. All right, let's put the Elliott in there, right, just as a guideline. I'd want that to get up all the way to here. Can't say I love that. So the Elliott is just kind of keeping you on the sidelines, right? Okay, if it's going to be a flat, I got to get at least to here. So I've got to break that golden zone and that supply zone here, and then I got to come all the way back down to this one. Okay, that might be more interesting here at the 2 because then I'd have 1, 2, and I'd probably be coming into something down here. Okay, right now I'm coming right into the golden zone for the 2. For me, this is just such a mess. I would have already left, right, 20 minutes ago if I were considering the trade here. But just trying to work through what Al-Manahi's giving me. Okay, down here, I could get interested down here. At least then I could look at it and say, okay, well, I can see an ugly diag, but I can see it. Okay, so I got my leading diag, and then I got my 3 into a golden zone. Okay, now I'm interested. Otherwise, I think it's just too soon. It's just green banana. It's not ripe enough. All right, let me keep going here because, geez, I got sidetracked there. Well, I appreciate the effort, man. All right, James is giving me the SPX macro. Then we'll finish here. We had a request. Somebody wanted me to look at something. Please check waves. Wrong chart, but I think I got it, James, eventually. Save. All right, what do we got now? How are we on time? Oh, man, we're going to be right on time. All right, what's the thought on the SPX here, James? Oh, shit. What are you giving me here? You're giving me... Yikes. Okay. This is the copy. You're giving me that here, so I'm going to dump that. Okay, wave 4 is somewhere at this point. I see a 3-wave move. Yeah, I see it too. Oh, we're going on the weekly. Okay, well, this gets more interesting on the weekly. Well, here's this is an example of just you kind of making do with what you got, right? That if you just think about the last chart, I was like, oh my God, I can't do that. But that actually works, right? So that's the COVID low. That's a monster of a 3, right? That's what the money printing will do. But in log scale here, note we still didn't get to the 2618. What's not to like here? Let's go to the daily. Excuse me, I shouldn't do that. So this looks to me like a pretty clear, well, let's not assume, let's make assumptions here. This is a reasonable 5, 3, 5. Why don't we like this? What's not to like here? All right, I'm asking that to myself, right, as well as to you guys in general. What's wrong with that? Oh, let's see if we can tie some fib confluence to it. Nothing to the tick. $786. Nothing to the tick. Let's go. Let's dig in there a little bit more. How's our impulse in here? Not terrible. Well, do we overlap there? I always see the SPX is a little, you don't get the overnight. Can we get that to fly there as an impulse? We'd have to put the 1 here and go A, B, C into the tree, because you got a double top there. See, that's why I would look at it at the futures, but 1, 2, well, maybe. Okay, you'd have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to make that impulse work. This looks promising. So, anybody unclear on what happened there? No, I'm going to guess not. Right, just an algo getting its target. Right, the dominant. That's the DNA of the market right there. It's how it moves, not why it moves, how it moves. Right, that won't. I don't know. It's been what 100 years. I don't see that changing. What are we doing here? Right, is that it doesn't look impulsive, does it? Well, let's go down. Let's try the 4. But you might be able to talk yourself into it. 1, 2. We're going to need a big, right, a lot of resistance to break through here. So this all has to, well, we can see what's coming, where the resistance. So not unreasonable to view that and think, okay, did an impulse complete there? Well, it may well have, right? This is a little shaky on the in the SPX, right? We don't get the overnight, but so 1, okay, I might allow for it's either an A or a C. I think we cleared it here. We did clear it here. So we do. Oh motherfucker, do we? I think in the futures we're good. Nope, there's a break. A break's a break. Oh, that's a pain in the ass right there. Now, there's some that would tell you to let that slide. Okay, so you'd have to come out of this with 2 alternates. All right, since I'm wrapping up here, this is our last chart here. This is well, we can put the alternate together, right? So I wouldn't ignore this, right? But this, right? If you're going to be disciplined about an Elliott count, here we can reshape it right now. Okay, so let's just redo it here, just for the educational. All right, so if you come up into that, right? So so here's what's easy to do. Go, oh fuck, that's a pain in the ass. I don't want to deal with that. That's close enough, right? That's what the average trader will do, right? So, but let's be a little bit more disciplined than that. All right, so what's the alternate here? Okay, there's a 3, right? Because I can't call it an impulse. I cannot call it an impulse with an overlap there. Like, there are certain rules that you can fudge is the wrong word. You can let it slide to a degree, but that we have 2 breaks, no, can't let that slide. It doesn't make it a whole lot better though. So what's the implication, right? We'd have to go W. Oh fuck. Wrong one. We're gonna have to use this one. So you'd have to go. Fuck. Come here. WX. No, I can't do that because I don't want this X going further. So we'd have to do it this way. A, B, C. I think we got to do it this way. W, X, potentially Y there. Now we're kind of back into that same, can I make this work as an impulse? It's the problem is not the 1, 2. The 1, 2 is fine. It's the internal impulse is a little shaky. Just if I label it here, you can see the problem. 1, 2. All right. You want to go now. I'd have to do it this way. A, B, because that looks like a 5 into that C. Now, can I get an impulse there? It's a little shaky there. Even here, it's not much better here. At least you'd have a 4, 5 to finish that. maybe extension in the one. Oh shit! See, do you see how difficult this is because of the overlaps here, and they're very slight. Do you see the slight overlap here? So I can't go 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Looks like one would be longer. This is just enough to where it's creating a problem, right? That's enough. So what? Well, again, we're back to what's the alternate? This looks like 1, 2. I can't get a diag out of it. Sheesh. James, what did you give me? You're giving it. You didn't give me anything. What did you give me? Did you give me anything else under there? No, you didn't. So you're going with looks like a 3. W. Well, let's see if we go back here. Right. So this may be a rule we could allow for a little fudge on, because it may be what we're forced into. Ideally, you don't want the second X above the first X. Ideally. X, Y, X, Z. I say I love that. You're still a little fucked here with the impulse. Oh fuck! Maybe we do it this way. Here, let's on the fly here. Let's do it this way. If this can be a leading diag, so this is actually more bearish, right? Okay, so let's. Here, I'm going to get there eventually. Okay, so let's do it this way. A, B. Fuck. See. You're still running into this problem. Again, this might be just what we're stuck with. So we get a leading diag here. Now, you don't. Fuck. Maybe I can get it on a 2. Jesus, that's a pain in the ass. Okay, so even that is a struggle. Okay, maybe I can dig a 2 out of there, barely 3, 4, 5, so I can get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I make that work? I got overlap here, 1, 2. Jeez, these are just fucking us up. Can't do it. Can I do a diag? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a good 1, 2. You'd have to go A, B, C. A. Oh shit, this might be one that's going to take some time. Well, it's already taken too much time. I don't think we can get that to fly, James. Last thing I would try here is because the SPX, let's do it this way. Let's take it on a log. We don't get the overnight. So let me go back to daily. Last try here, and then I'll spend some time with it this afternoon, and I'll post it under the live stream, see if I can get a count that I can actually get away with here. All right. Jeez, I feel you guys nodding off here. Okay, I get the same problem here. So this would have to be A, B. Fuck. You'd have to truncate here, so I might be able to do it this way. A, B. Jesus. This is the implication here is much lower. Oh, wait a second. Oh God, I'm gonna have to do this afternoon and post it up. Where my B go here? I can't get this thing to fly. I can't get an impulse in there. So this, I will post this here. This could take me an hour, right? There's not an impulse in there. I can't get it because of the overlap. So I'm gonna have to wrestle with that. I can't call it an A. Phew. All right, I bore you guys to death here. I will spend some time with that and see if I can get something that flies. I don't know, James. You got something that works in there? I can't see one. If on the assumption that this is 1, 2, unless I can't do that either. I'm looking for the alternate here on the fly. I can't go 1, 2, 3. I can't go 3 unless I go 3, 4, and it's another leading diag. I suppose I could do that. Boy, that may be exactly what we've got, right? I was trying to give it some signs of life for a rally. Boy, is that ugly. That may be what we're stuck with here after all this. 1. I think that's what we're stuck with here, actually, now that I really look at it. Boy, that's bad news for bulls. Well, let's do a little projection here. If this is 1, this is 2, how far could we go? Well, that's certainly not unreasonable. Okay, let's go back to weekly, which is what he gave me. Ooh, that's looking mighty bearish. Let's see where that lines up. Well, the 50 would be right here. Oh, you definitely would have an order block here. I mean, I think that's what we're looking at after wrestling with that bear for a while. There's no, I don't see another way to count that. All right, so we're stuck in that fucker. Oh, they're going to take it out of log. I don't know. Any of you Elliott Maestros have an alternate there? I don't see one. I think we got to go 1 here. You can't get an impulse in there unless you're doing some sort of a hideous force fit. So you got to go leading diag, 3 leading diag. Now, okay, right, so it's a diag, right, but it's not an ending diag. So I wouldn't want to bet on, oh, well, maybe it's just expanding diag followed by expanding diag. I wouldn't want to bet on that. But, all right, the implication is that's leading, as in that's a 1. That's not good news for the market. 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That could get really, really ugly. All right, maybe that's what we got. Now, what's the first thing that occurs to my mind? What does that do to Bitcoin? If we're going down that far, oh, we'll come back to log here. Maybe not panic, everybody. What's that doing to Bitcoin? Okay, so let's think about where we're going to see the first big test. Well, anywhere in here. I got high volume there. We'd be on the edge of value right at the golden zone. If that goes 1, 2, oh, whew, that's bad news, right? If we go into that, the implication is we're going much lower. You'd have a golden corner there too. If that's what we get, you'd stay original recipe. That's going to look pretty ugly. Hard to argue with that. Well, what's the downside to that, right? The length of the C relative to the A. So that might be too bearish. You don't have a clear answer here. You do have this, right, coming down here. So maybe that's too much for that 3. Maybe we get spared something that's severe. But all we'd be doing is coming back here to this giant pocket. Not particularly bullish. All right, guys, I think, shit, what do I have, Monty? Do I have any other? I know I had a few requests in there. I know we're running kind of late. I got stuck on a few there. Should we?
We didn't have any donations. Somebody said they were going to, but I don't see it.
Somebody wanted the euro. I thought I'd take a quick peek at that.
Yeah, I actually longed the euro at 99.
Oh, you did?
And,
oh, check you out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let it run, see what happens.
Are you in the futures or you are in the FX?
FX.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I just longed it on forex.com. I had a couple $100 and said go for it. You might still be muted.
You really have to go weekly here. Let me. Jesus, what's the fuck? We damn near got to go monthly. Where the hell are we? Well, that may be more than we need. Well, I think, as I recall, this was a perfect golden. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's that one. There it is. One of these had a perfect golden in it. I could have sworn. I missed that 50. So you're going. Oh, let's go to the weekly here. So you're going off of just overextended here. RSI, a little divergence on the RSI. Or did you have long-term support there?
For me?
Yeah.
Actually, let me pull it up.
One of these had a perfect, as I recall. I haven't looked at this for a while. Had a perfect tag. Thought we did. Maybe it was the second pivot. We were looking at this on the daily. Well, for FX, right, this is where, do we have enough here to say? Well, the one thing that if I just mark this off here, just to quickly look at this, it doesn't look like we're done there, does it? No, not that you couldn't make money on this trade, but as I look at that here, and of course, you know, ideally we can finish with a 5. So we can look to invalidate this if we break past this zone down here. Well, it looks like that's probably a 38. No, it's a 50. So you longed it off of what time frame?
Well, it was I'm about to send it to you. You can pull it up for everyone.
Okay.
It was actually a weekly Monty pull. And once I saw it reclaim the level, I didn't have a limit waiting. But when I saw on low time frame it reclaimed the level, look at the tag though on the weekly, you can see it, but
oh Jesus, beautiful.
That's the pull I had, and then that's the daily. I mean, it was.
Yeah, I see it. Right, that's pretty sexy here. So you should know pretty quickly here, because if you're going to get this, let's go to a 4 just out of curiosity.
Yeah, since you're daily too, so you can see the tag. I mean, it's stupid how.
Oh my God, that's
accurate it was.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. That is right to the tick. Tick right now. If you guys are not familiar with a Monty pull, then you got to come back on a Wednesday. Let him explain that to you.
So ideally, my thinking is now it goes up to tag that 0 line, which would be the 1.111. And either reject there and head for the lows again and create a range, or gain it and it was just a deviation of the low and the algo's good, and hold that dude for as long as I can.
Well, you got to if you can get this to turn into a 5, you got a good contender there.
Yeah.
Right.
Currently, my TP is at 1.42, so that would be a hell of a win. That's just the golden zone of the Monty pool.
Yeah. This is you might get this, because you can probably squeeze a 5 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, we'll see if we can break up here.
Yeah, it needs to get out
of
this.
Get a good runner and then get the retrace. And if we get the move up first, then I'm just leaving it and going to let it sit.
There's your supply zone here, but it's just wicks going through that. So, well, they would have to do it here, actually, so you might be in good shape here. It's a little thin on the 1, 2, but you can get a 5 there through. So A, B, C, it's to be a mighty skinny C. But if this starts, well, you're going to know, right? So you wouldn't want it to take that out, right? So because if this goes 1, 2 and starts and breaks, and you get that break of structure there, then you'd be thinking 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3. But if we hold here and you break this, you're looking good. Yeah, well, and then also notice over here you got this big air pocket, right, where there was so that always ties to, or you can see the imbalance here. Remember we talked about imbalance, right? Here's the market is ranging, deciding what are we doing, where's fair value, imbalance, little shenanigans down here, and now it's ranging again, right? You can see the high volume here, so you got to get through that, get up to that. But if you take this out, you're looking good here, and then you can get back up here as you'd anticipate that there the market will look for that, right? Because there's likely there'll be unfilled orders there. All right. Was there one? I think one of them was asking me. There's a couple of people asking how I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm much better now. Well, finally, what did I do? I took some antibiotics. I finally had to go to the doctor. I was feeling shitty for so long. I said, fuck, what's wrong with me? Gave me some antibiotics. That seemed to do it. Okay, guys, I guess we'll wrap it there. It's not my best work ever, but I'll get back in the groove once we get rolling here and markets give us a little bit more to work with. Members are giving me content here just because I'm asking for it, and there's not that these are the world's greatest setups. A lot of times it's just kind of working through it together, and if we come to the conclusion that the best trade is no trade, that's not necessarily wasted time, because I know we all have this sense that, I got to be trading because I got to be making money, and if I'm not trading, I don't have the opportunity to make money. Well, you also don't have the opportunity to lose money. So just be selective, right? We're in uncharted territory in virtually all markets, right? We've never experienced this before. Some people will make comparisons based on the inflation, but really certainly in the U.S. markets, it's uncharted territory, right? If the Fed can pull, odds are the Fed will not pull this off. So I wouldn't be hanging on to hope that they're going to create a soft landing. All right, guys, with that, we'll let you run here. You've got Mining Crypto on Wednesday. I've got a big webinar I'm doing for our ninjas, the side of the business, on Thursday. So that's going to keep me kind of busy for the next couple of days. But we have Monty on Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday, and then we'll see if there's enough demand for it. We'll go back to Monday, Tuesday on the live stream. So we'll just kind of wait and see. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I always appreciate you guys very much. And members, thanks for posting up that content. Okay, with that, I'll go grab some lunch and wish you guys a good afternoon.